at night, I'm sure the homeless people tell you, the world changes to a different place. The other thing is the people have been programmed to a certain extent judge a book by its cover. And unfortunately, not everyone on the high street is educated. Not everyone has some kind of good morals in life. There's a lot of crocodiles and sharks and, you know, I mean, piranhas and hyenas and people with bad values of life.
Ahmed, first of all, thank you for giving us your time.
Thank
how
you.
old are you?
Me, I'm 32.
32. And
Yeah.
how long have you been homeless for?
First of all, since first lockdown.
Okay.
But I've never been homeless.
Before that, never?
I've never ever gone hungry. I've never even gone without funds.
So can I ask you, how did you end up becoming homeless?
You know what, because I was with a partner,
Yeah.
and things deteriorated and the relationship deteriorated, and then after that we had to part ways. So I was one of those proud people. It was very embarrassing for me to, like, after 9 years, say that I'm homeless. Then it's just got really hard because I started, like, depending on the services, and it was a waiting process and I wasn't familiar with it. At first I was just waiting, but I didn't know you have to actually register yourself to StreetLink.
While you were waiting, were you homeless at that point?
Yeah, and then lockdown happened and it was really hard because everything was closed. And then there's a process, or there's rules and regulations or protocol they have to follow, the outreach and the St. Mungo's team, saying one, you have to be homeless, 2, you have to be sleeping rough, and 3, you have to have 3 engagements. They have to come see you 3 times.
Okay.
So they have to come. When they saw me, they said to me, they saw me in the street like this, like you gentlemen, because I look homeless. You know what I mean? Homeless people just look like really not clean. To be honest, not. You could tell them. You know, you could tell they stick out like a sore thumb. So I registered myself after a couple of weeks of being homeless. Then they said to me, look, we're going to come back again, but you have to be sleeping on the floor. I said, look, I can't be sleeping on the floor. It's Corona. It's like, you know what I mean?
Where were you sleeping at that time, though?
At that time, you know what? I refused to sleep on the floor. I was using every bit of pennies I do have. Top up my Oyster card on trains, on buses, get into a cheap hostel, and then it just stopped. I ran out of funds.
And you know the first day that you became homeless?
Yeah.
How was that first day?
That first day was, it was a nightmare, but to a certain extent, at night, I'm sure the homeless people tell you, the world changes to a different place. The other thing is the people have been programmed to a certain extent judge a book by its cover. And unfortunately, not everyone on the high street is educated. Not everyone has some kind of good morals in life. There's a lot of crocodiles and sharks and, you know, I mean, piranhas and hyenas and people with bad values of life.
They all come at night.
Yeah, and then they try to use you with funds. And, you know, truth of the matter is, you know, like, you have to approach someone, you have to try and change your situation. That's what I tell most homeless people is, like, look, I'm going to get out of this very quick. When I speak to someone who's been in this for 2, 3 years, 4 years, even a couple of months, I go, look, stay away from drugs, stay away from alcohol. And I've really got to understand this cycle of life, because before, all my life I used to walk past homeless people, I used to give them the change I don't want, or I don't have no time for them, get some food and, you know, listen to them and wish them good advice. But it's beyond that. I've learned in this journey, there is no such thing as a problem. Whether it's finance, whether it's family, friends, health, anything. As long as you have, you know, a good intention and, you know, you try to change your situation instead of living in that situation, you can change your channel, or, like, you know, like YouTube, you know, you could change, you know, I mean, pick whatever you want. You don't have to be in that situation. You could just 1 minute get up and say, right, I'm going to clean myself, go look for jobs every day. And that's what I was doing.
And you know, you said earlier that the world changes at night time.
Yeah.
Can you go into that a bit more? What do you mean?
Yeah, you know, I've met some disgusting people, man, you know.
What do you mean?
You know, I met people who say, yeah, I'm going to help you come to my house, you know, and, you know, you could just...
They've got other plans.
Yeah, there's all kind of people with wicked plans, you know what I mean? And I don't believe in violence, I don't believe in negativity. I don't believe in, like, life is precious. There's no reason.
So
like, God's the only person who can create life. Like, who are we as humans?
So you know when you find that people they have different motives, how do you then trust people after that?
Well, how I do trust people after that is, like, you know,
You must find it difficult to trust
there's
people.
more good than bad. You know what I mean? And that's how I was brought up with. You know what I mean? Not judging a book by its cover.
And you know, when you were with your partner, I mean, obviously, I'm guessing you would have a family as well.
I had my ethnic family. They're all not in this country. They're all, and we've lost contact because of situations I don't really want to.
And what about
talk
your mates,
about.
your friends?
No, all my friends are professionals. They're all working in offices.
Do they know you're homeless?
No one knows I'm homeless. So this going on YouTube right now is exploding me to the whole world. But what I want to say is, you know, I've actually almost conquered it. I will be housed soon. Thank God we have services and systems in this country. If you follow those protocol types and you keep lobbing and don't sit on the floor and don't abuse yourself, because look, energy flows where the mind goes. You have to look after your body. If you already look like shit, you can't wash yourself, you know. So boom, you have to use your strength. Get nutrition, get your right fibers, you know, and walk around. Ask 1,000 shops, go to 1,000 different charities, and eventually it will work out.
What stopped you from asking your friends for help?
To be honest, like, you know,
Because I'm sure they wouldn't want to see you being homeless, and they would probably want to come and help you.
no, I rather, you know, sometimes in life, yeah, when you speak to friends and family, yeah, it's more heartache for them. It's more of a pain for them because, you know, they physically will take that home. But for a stranger, they live for that moment. For a stranger, it's like, boom, okay, I can help you, this, that, boom. And they will move on, you know?
And you know, being homeless for more than a year now, what do you find to be the toughest part?
The toughest part is, you know, people knocking you down by emotional, you know, thinking that, you know, this is, well, you know, like, some people will say to you, like, you can see, sometimes body language speaks a lot. Some people think this is your career, this is your job, this is your life forever.
If an
you know
employer
what I mean?
watches this video and they want to hire you, would you be willing to work?
Of course, of course. Matter of fact, you know, I'll boost their income by more than 50%.
And, being homeless for this long, what's the nicest thing someone has done for you?
You know, help emotionally understand and emotionally learn that it could happen to anyone, and not just use me as a, you know, entertainment or, you know, for their own self-esteem, and help me anything to change that situation.
And
You know,
what's the meanest thing someone has done to you?
oh, the meanest thing. Oh, I fell asleep, yeah, and they started pouring alcohol on me, and then they beat me up.
That's messed up.
Then they threw my luggage in the canal, and then they knocked me unconscious, ripped up my tent, and then pissed on my tent.
It's crazy.
I was a bit pissed off with one thing, not knowing if I had piss or alcohol on me. But it just shows some people are so low in life that they will pick on the vulnerable or the most weakest. Me personally, it's a shame that people like that live in this world.
And these are people that, if you look at them, they look like normal suited booty.
Yeah, they look like a normal suit. Another suited person came up to me, goes, "You all right, son? Are you hungry?" I looked at him, and he looked like he was there for entertainment. He goes, "I'm just waiting for my cab." I go, "Yeah, all right." And I recognise his Mourinho Italian silk suit, because I used to wear suits like that. And he goes, "Do you smoke?" And he pulled out one Churchill cigar, because he only had one left. And I said, "No," because I knew what was going to come up next. I've only got one, you know. Then he said, he got a £50 note, and he lit the £50 note, and then he lit his cigar. He goes, "What are you after? You want some change?" Obviously, you can see homeless people need change. Like, it's not rocket science, you know.
Yeah, he lit the money.
But yeah, he lit the money. He said, "Do you need change?" I said, "No, I don't need change. I'm all right. I'm really good." And, you know, what he was doing was he wanted someone to beg and cry for him.
Trying to break you down mentally.
by his soul, or by his iman, or his taqwa, or his nafs, or his energy, or his spirit, and that is belittling. And for me personally, I felt more energy, I felt more better than him. I was like, oh my God, he probably has shitloads of problems. One, to be smoking, I spending that much money on like £50 on a cigar, and then lighting another £50. Money must mean so little to him, that he doesn't have no love for his life, no love for this world, no love for humanity.
I think a lot of people, when they walk past, they're actually empty inside themselves.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
They try and take your energy out of you as
your
well.
Energy, exactly.
So can I ask you then, what's the one lesson, Ahmed, you've learned being on the streets?
I've learned, don't ever judge a book by its cover. Just because that person's got a beard or turban or dreadlocks or old man or homeless man, we all have problems. Don't think that person hasn't got problems, and don't think that person's bad. Never judge a book by its cover.
And people that are going to watch this video and say they want to help you, how can they contact you? Have you got like a phone or
I have
email?
got a phone number.
Is it okay if we take
Yep,
that?
I've got a phone number, I've got an email.
So one last question for you, Ahmed, then before we wrap it up is, people that are going to watch this video, what's your final message to the world?
We should all look upon our best for each other, and we should be united as humans to help each other, to lift each other up. How better of a world would this be if everyone had currency, shelter, healthcare? If everyone could bring out everyone's talent instead of actually holding them hostage in capitalism and taking all their wages within bills, taxes and this and that, and never actually does become what can, or use the talent that they do have for this world. We should not cripple each other, depress each other, hurt each other, but love each other, support each other, motivate each other, and save each other, because that person can save you one day, or you might have to save that person.
That's a powerful message. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ahmed, you said that what would put a smile on your face is a nice hot meal.
Yeah.
So we got you some nice food over here.
Thank you very much.
Now, people that donate to us, Ahmed, we use that money to help the homeless, buy them clothes and food.
Yeah.
What's your message to the people that donate?
You know what, thank you, and that's what it's about, and it actually goes a long way. Thank you so much, and please don't stop. Donate as much as you can. Like the boys, if you can also donate some time, because that means a lot too, to make you feel like human, and it's so nice.
Enjoy your hot meal.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, God bless you.